Welcome to another episode of Building a Leadership Mindset podcast. I'm your host, Nikki C., all the way from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Super excited to be here today with an amazing guest. Absolutely phenomenal. Met her through a community and so glad that I did. But before we get into that, let's say a little shout out to our sponsors. Because of them, this would not be happening. So we have Jose Escobar with the Connected Leaders Academy. We have Julie and Noah from Breathe Capital Planning, as well as Patrick Rude from Rude Financial Services. Guys, we have been growing so quickly and just doing some amazing things in our community, and it has been a blessing to watch. We're coming up on our 1-year anniversary of our Ladies of Leadership community. We are hosting our final for this year only, our online business mindset mania, November 18th. If you want some more information on that and how you can connect with us, we would love to have you join us. We have our speakers, we have our team just working really, really hard on the back end to bring you some valuable, tangible information and hope to grow and to really change your mindset, because that's what we are about. Change your mindset and taking that extra step to get to the next level, no matter where you are on your journey, and never giving up. Our guest today is Dr. Rani Thanacoody, is a dynamic academic in the field of HRM and organizational behavior in the UK, blending her expertise with a passion of holistic healing and personal development. She's a clinical hypnotherapist specializing in rapid transformational therapy, a Mars Venus life and relationship coach, a breathwork coach, and a chakra healer. Rani is also a life force compassion practitioner, a tarot reader, and an astrologer. Her commitment to inspiring and uplifting others evident through her Amazing You by Dr. Rani Thanacoody podcast and YouTube channel. So she also co-authored books with Dr. John Gray and contributed to the bestsellers emphasizing the importance of self-investment for personal and relationship growth. Rani is dedicated to empowering individuals on their transformative journeys towards self-discovery and healing. Without further ado, let's bring her on here. Hello, Rani. How are you?
Hi, Nikki. Hi, everybody. I am doing great. Thank you, Nikki. How are you doing?
I am well. So happy to have you on today. I was just on your podcast a week ago. I can't wait to see the replay of that episode. You have a gift of hosting and really making your guests feel comfortable and just ready to share their purpose and really dig deep into our mindset on the different things that are valuable to you. So I just want to say thank you for allowing me to do that. And I'm glad to have you here today.
Thank you so much, Nikki, for being on my podcast. It will definitely be live in a few weeks. I'll get in touch with you and let you know. And it is a great opportunity today to be with you and your audience. Was waiting for that for a long time, to be with you, because we connected a week ago, and we connected before that. So we had such a great conversation, and I love talking to you and sharing our knowledge and sharing about things. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, our conversation was definitely remarkable because we have a lot of the same alignments of empowering and
Yes.
leadership and really stepping into our purpose. Tell us a little bit first about who you are, where do you come from, what was life like growing up in the UK? Tell us a little bit about your backstory and how you entered into this space.
Yes, thank you, Nikki. I'll try to be brief because my story is very long. It might take you a few days. So, your audience and you will be here for too many days. So, I'll keep it brief and short. I am originally from Mauritius, which is an island in the Indian Ocean between Australia and Africa. And I grew up there with my sister and my parents and relatives and friends. And I did my bachelor in Mauritius, And then I decided that I wanted to go for further studies. So I did my master's in HRM, that is human resource management, and my PhD in management in Australia. Then my first academic job was in China. So that's where I started my academic career. And it was like a real shock because of the culture, the different culture, but it was a great learning experience. I enjoyed it. I had a fabulous time meeting great people there. Then I moved to the UK after that. So I've been in the UK for the past 15 years now, and I am living in Nottingham in the UK. And I have been teaching in the area of human resource management for 20 years, I would say. And I've been doing research as well. So I've published academic journals in the areas of stress and well being. And I would say in 2017, I, after several repeated workplace bullying, and 2017 was the last workplace that I was experiencing that, I left the job. I made the decision to leave the job because I couldn't bear this anymore, because the bullying was being repeated from job to job to job. And I mean, it's when the bullying is repeated, it's not only that I leave the job, but I have to relocate to find another job and move to another home as well. So it was a lot of work to relocate, move job, readapt in the job, and then relocate and adapt to a new location in my place. So in 2017, I left that job. I say, no, that can't be it. I have to find out why that pattern is happening. So I stayed in the UK a few months, thinking, reflecting, praying, and then I decided I want to go back home now. I can't stay very long without a visa anyway. So I went home to Mauritius. I continued to ask God and pray and really dive into myself. But then something inside me told me, you have to go back to the UK. So I started applying for jobs, and in 2018, I came back. And that voice inside me that told me to come back to the UK told me that this time you will learn something else. I didn't know, Nikki, what I would be learning. Came back in 2018, got the job that I am now. And I'm so proud of myself because I've been in that job for 5 years and 1 month. This is the first time in my life. And I'll tell you how that happened. So in 2019, 2020, the pandemic hit. But I was still on that journey of finding where is that pattern of bullying coming from. And when the pandemic hit, I did a first course with a coach, with a love coach. And that course really helped me to dive into myself. I never knew the depth within me. And as soon as I finished the course with her, I found the right course, which is the hypnotherapy course. And that course helped to accelerate the healing that I needed, and gave me the answers that I required from that pattern of workplace bullying. I was so glad. It was very deep work that I did, a lot of crying, I must say, a lot. I've been crying for 3 years, I would tell you, during the hypnotherapy. And after doing the hypnotherapy, I did other modalities, like you mentioned. I did Mars Venus coaching, astrology, tarot reading, compassion sessions. So all these modalities and other modalities that I did as well, a bit of tapping. So all these helped me to dive into myself. Wow. I must say, Nikki, this has changed my life now, because I can say doing that inner work has helped me to keep my job now and to deal with the situation that happened. And the trigger comes. We are not perfect. We are still growing. It's a lifelong journey of growing and healing, but it is much better. I feel much happier within myself. I stopped having irritable bowel syndrome. Before the healing, Nikki, I couldn't eat anything, and the irritable bowel syndrome was becoming worse and worse by years, because it was my body telling me, you need to address, you need to do something inside. but I didn't know until I found hypnotherapy. Now I am so happy to say now I can eat potatoes moderately because I couldn't even eat one potato chip. So now I can eat potatoes, I can eat more salads very moderately, like everything we have to take in moderation. And it has helped me to feel more alive. I was so exhausted my whole life, Nikki. I had low self esteem, felt always very tired, very exhausted. But now I must say, after all the healing work that I've done on myself, I feel more alive, I feel more energetic, I feel more happy within myself, and I have much better self esteem like I never had in my life. So, and I have discovered so many of my talents, I would say, like being on the podcast with you. I wouldn't talk before, Nikki. I wouldn't even share something in public. So having podcasts, meeting people, networking, like we are on different on communities, that's where we met together as well. So it's been an amazing journey. I've written a book as well, co-authored two books with Dr. John Gray, which is called Love and Coaching, and my chapter is The Best Investment You Will Ever Make. And the other book that I co-authored, I'm sure you know Susie Dent. Do you know her?
I don't think so.
No, she's on the same community that we are. So with her, I co-authored a book called Bare Naked and Beautiful, and we share about our journey of having experienced sexual abuse and how we have healed from that, and how now we want to help other ladies, other women who've experienced sexual abuse and traumas. So this is a bit of my journey, and yes, thank you so much.
Wow. Yes, absolutely. Wow, what a journey. You said a few things, and usually I don't take notes here, but I am taking notes today for some reason. There's something that we have to depict here. And
Yes.
the main thing is, first of all, I just want to say what I heard in a nutshell was that in order for someone who has a desire to get answers,
Yeah.
they'll find a way to get them.
Mm-hmm.
We're asking ourselves right now all the time, why am I not succeeding? Why am I having this anxiety? Why does this these feelings, why are these feelings happening to me? Without reflecting and going to the core of the root problem from the beginning. It's usually something that happened in childhood, something that
Yes.
happened during a particular relationship, something that happened to us, and we don't know those answers. So what I'm hearing, and for our audience to hear, what I want to make sure I amplify is that we are getting answers. We have to look for answers before we can move forward. We can start a business, but if we're not healed and we're asking ourselves these questions, there is a block somewhere. And
Yes.
having an understanding of who you are, what you want to do, and how you want to other people to see you, we have to work on that first. So thank you so much for highlighting that. Tell us a little bit about bullying in the workplace, because I was in a company for 14 years in corporate America. I've never had an issue directly with being bullied or bullying anybody else, but there has been things that happen in that corporate space and that atmosphere. If we
Mm,
don't know these things, right? Tell us a little bit about what bullying in the workplace looks like and how did it affect you?
yes. When I understood where the bullying come from, when I did the work, it goes much deeper, like you said. It goes to my childhood, where as a child I felt unloved. My grandmother passed away when I was two. And that's when the people around me, they loved me, my parents, but they were busy. So as a child, I felt a bit neglected, not loved. And then I was a prey to sexual abuse because of the low self-esteem. So that has caused the bullying in the workplace. And the bullying in the workplace, what it looks like, well, it's like not being valued for who you are. It is people creating all sorts of things so that you don't progress in your career. So they create like roadblocks that you have to keep jumping and jumping and jumping, and it's exhausting, I can tell you. And they keep changing the goals every year. They change the goalpost. So one time you start to ask yourself, then what is it that I need to achieve this year? They say, oh, now you have to do more things than last year. You haven't even completed the goals of last year. They give you other goals to achieve,
Mm,
which is too much, which is overwhelming for somebody. And they don't know that I had so much trauma, but for them, they just keep giving more. And what they do as well, they don't provide you the support. They don't provide you a mentor. They let you by yourself. And it's they belittle you. You do meet some narcissists along the way, because many of them in that corporate world, in that academic environment, and research have shown that there's a lot of narcissistic people hiding in there. So who themselves have low self-esteem, because they say hurt people hurt others. So I don't blame them, because they themselves have been hurt and they haven't been healed. So that's why they are doing that to another person. So these are some of the forms that it would take, and then it would become, and when you try to fight it up, and because you see that things are not right, you try to make things right, then they don't like it. Then they would backfire. They would start to get more aggressive with you. They would start to be aggressive verbally, and they get aggressive as well by writing documents and telling you that we are going to fire you if you don't do this. So they do a kind of blackmailing as well. So there's a
mm,
lot of this kind of thing occurring. It's very traumatizing as well, because if you're already having trauma, this you feel more traumatized. So this is what it looks like, Nikki,
mm.
just in a nutshell. Yeah.
Yeah, so you raised some excellent points. And the reason why I asked is because, like I said, I was in the workplace. I've never felt bullied because I had, these relationships outside with my management team. Like we had a great rapport with each other. I still did what I did, but I didn't realize that these simple things, the roadblocks that come up, finding different ways to switch your goals so that you
Mhm.
are not on your A game as you
Yes.
were last year. Now you have to stress. So the stress builds and
Mm.
it's, I don't think it's intentional or
No,
malicious. I think
no.
it's just a cultural practice that they need to identify and be able um, to really take care of that, right? And
Yes.
narcissists in the workplace, we've all came across them like, oh, we
Yes.
are better than you. It's what I say, and that's it. I'm the manager.
Yes.
I'm the supervisor. I'm this. I'm that. But I've
Yeah.
never seen it in that perspective. And for someone who, obviously, we never want to take food off of people's plates. We don't want, homes to be taken away. Whatever you
Mm.
have to do to survive, but you also have to understand that your peace is valuable. It's actually priceless.
Yeah.
Your peace of mind, your peace of being,
Mm.
has to be really looked at and say, okay,
Yes.
I can't complain about this, right? Because I've put myself in this position. I've either interviewed for it, I'm making the money,
Yes.
it's providing, but we have to kind of step back and say, well, even though this is a paycheck to paycheck and I'm managing, are you really living? Like we have to ask
Mm.
ourselves these questions. Are we just living to, like, the thing that really got me at the end of the day working in the corporate space, I
Yes.
love it. I feel I give them 100% credit for who I am today and the type
Yes.
of person that I give to my community. Like all the
Mm.
opposites of what I seen, right? Um, so, but with that being said, it's so important for us to understand that we have to interview these employers as much as they interview us. Because remember, they need us too. Without our
Absolutely.
support, without our knowledge, our skills, if they don't value you, you just have to rethink are you
Yes.
in the workspace that you were destined to be in? Is this,
Mm,
a dream, um that, it's going to get you to wherever it is your end goal is with that company, or all that stuff, right? So there's so many things to think about, and we're not saying that you have to leave your job, you just have to make better choices. And I love the
absolutely.
fact that you said that awareness
Mm,
actually caused you to leave. So when you were not at peace, you said,
yes.
okay, I need to protect my peace. Let me
Yes.
just remove myself from the situation. But it's so
Absolutely.
important to understand. And I love that you asked yourself, well, why is this happening? What is the
Yeah.
pattern? What is the core reason that I am feeling the way I'm feeling? And why do I make these
Mm,
decisions based on the way I'm feeling? So thank you so much for asking yourself that question and getting those answers, so that now you can help people on that journey looking for answers. So that's a beautiful thing, that when we take our mess, when we take
mm,
our valleys and we
yes.
turn them into something special and good, and a solution for others, that's the whole goal. I love that. So thank you so much for sharing that. And one last question before we go into a little break and listen to one of our sponsors.
All
Um,
right.
what
I'm
is
excited to listen to your sponsors too.
awesome? What is it at the end of the day that, now that you're in the space that you're in? So talk to us. You said that you were going to tell us that you have completed 5 years, 1 month. It is totally what you were looking for, the kind of um, place you were looking for all this time. The
Yes.
only thing you asked for is to be valued on what your skills are and all that good stuff. So tell us what that looks like. What made that change? How divine was that decision?
Wow. It was really life changing when I started doing the work on myself, I would say. Because when I started doing the work on myself, I really could appreciate my job a lot more, the current job. I understand that nothing is personal as well, that everything that happens is not always to do with me, and that everybody is fighting their own battles. So to just let go, and it has helped me to become more laid back in my approach instead of being, I used to like doing things perfectly. I let go of that perfection, I would say, Nikki. And that helped me a lot because I can't remember. I think it was one of my uh, trainer who is called Marissa Peer, whom I train with for the hypnotherapy. She said, it's better to be happy than to be perfect. And I
Mhm.
realized that I prefer my happiness, my peace, than to try to put all the dot on the I and to put all the dot on the T to mark the T. And I say, no, it's okay to let things, to do my best, but to not stress about things and to not be meticulous that I used to be, Nikki. Oh my God. You won't believe it. I would be so meticulous in my job, in reading, but now I say, it's okay. We can make mistakes and we can let small things go because it won't. It's better to leave certain things on the side than to try to do it perfect and then you work overtime, you are stressed out. You can do it again the other day, so just leave it. So now I have changed completely, Nikki. I have created boundaries for myself. So that was crucial that I never had. I remember I used to work Saturday, Sunday, preparing the material, but now I say no. 5 o'clock is 5 o'clock on a weekday, and that's it. I'm not going to touch anything until Monday because I need to rest my body. I need to work on myself. And that is so important because I realize the more I work on myself, on doing the work, and the more it gives me more creativity, more passion, more enthusiasm, more joy for my job that I do and for the other things on the side that I do, the hypnotherapy and the coaching. So now I can say all this, All what I've been going through has been a great learning journey to help me be where I am right now. It's like now I understand better, and I can, like Steve Jobs said, you can only connect the dots looking backwards. And now I can. And now I understand why I had to go through all this. Because now, when I have clients, I understand their situation better, much, much better. I can put myself in their shoes. Because imagine if I hadn't experienced abuse, I wouldn't understand what somebody is going through. And or if somebody haven't had narcissistic people, I wouldn't understand that. But now I understand when the clients say, and the client do tell me, you are the person who understands me, because I say, I have been going through that. Now I understand. I can put myself in your shoes, because they come and say, nobody understands them. I say, I can relate to that. I was in your shoes too. And I felt so lonely when I was in that place. But now I don't feel alone. I don't, Nikki. I like to be on my own and do my things too, because I love to be with the community. But then I need that time to work on myself. I need that time to do my reading. So it's been an amazing journey, and I am still enjoying it. And I have met some amazing people, wonderful people like you and the other community that we have. Wow, it has been life changing. Yes, thank you, Nick.
So awesome. Yes, thank you so much. And I love what you said about being happy. Like that's the main thing. When you get up every day and you enjoy what you do, who you're living life with, where you're going, what the next steps are, that really makes you unstoppable. Once you have worked on yourself, find out, and we're a work in progress. We're never done with ourselves. There's always something that's going to come up to the surface that we never knew that was an issue. And we have to wait till we get in that position to identify it. So
Yes.
always know that it's just a growth process, no matter what it is that we're going through life. But we have to be happy, grateful, that we even have lungs in our, breath in our lungs so that we can be here. I'm actually in a new group. And the question today was, what are you grateful for? And I said, I'm grateful for water, oxygen, and peace. And, I could have said, I'm just grateful to be living. I'm grateful to have my own community, or that, my business is growing. But I'm grateful that I have water, oxygen, and peace right now. That, every day it's a different thing, but I want to
Mm,
acknowledge the
yes.
fact that I'm still living. I'm still here. I get to live in my purpose. But has it always been like that? No, it
Mm,
actually started again when I started sending boundaries to say, hey, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it between this time and this time. I am guilty of working on Saturdays and Sundays, but I don't feel like it's work. I feel like, okay, I'm watching a game.
yeah.
I'm just here kind of relaxing, listening to my worship music. I could do a couple flyers. I can get some, emails read. So it is all how you want your days, your weeks, your months, your years to look like. You have control over it. This is your story. This is the book that you are writing, and we want our listeners to understand that if you are in some level of anguish, hurt, um, all these different things, there are solutions. And I believe that having a coach to guide you through those steps and identifying what those things are, because we have the answers within us. We just need someone to ask us the right questions to get it out so we can start a game plan. And I think that's exactly what you're doing, Rainey. Thank you so much. And one more thing before we go into commercial, but
Thank you. Thank
experience.
you, Nick.
You're
Yes.
welcome. Experiences. How powerful is that? You took your experience and now you can relate to your clients so that you are able to coach them through. And I want every listener to hear right now that if you feel like you have been that therapist to someone, that good friend with the shoulder to cry on, and you've been supporting
Mm,
them and you're their number one cheerleader, then you have coach tendencies in you, and you can actually start a business, whether it's relationships, whether it's mindset, whether it's leadership,
Yes.
any type of topic that you can talk about more than 20, 30, 40 minutes, and you can empower someone to make a mindset shift, you have something gold really in your experience. And again, not pushing any ideas on anyone, but the fact is that we have to start giving ourselves grace for
Mm,
things that we may have done and think that we're not worthy, but also know that every new day is a new opportunity to rewrite that chapter and to start a new one. So we're going to go into our break, and we're going to come back with Dr. Rani here, and we're going to see how we can get a hold of her, what she's working on now, and we'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Jose Escobar, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Connected Leaders Academy. We're a growing tribe, a community of entrepreneurs all over the world, globally, all across the country, high performers, titans of industry. If you're an entrepreneur and you're looking to grow personally and professionally, scale your influence, develop your skill sets, move the needle in your business, more clients, more money, more profit, the bottom line, and of course, grow your circle and your network like never before, this is where you want to be. Join the Connected Leaders Academy today. We are scaling massively. We want to welcome you in. Check me out on Instagram and on Facebook, the @ JASCO25. We look forward to having you join us. Take care.
Hello, hello. That is our Empower to Inspire. That was our business launch back in May, and we're taking it on tour. So find some more information by scanning that QR code on your left or right hand side on this screen, or you can go to www.buildingaleadershipmindset.com. And Dr. Rani, you have just been an absolute pleasure to interview and just know a little bit more about your story and share with our audience, the steps of growth, because that's what you're really sharing with us right now. The fact that we've been through some stuff, we have to identify what those things that have been keeping us or holding us back, and doing the work and knowing that the work is going to be ongoing. So tell us a little bit about your coaching program, what services you have, and how people can get connected with you.
Thank you, Nikki. Yes, what services I have? Well, I do one-to-one session, online session for hypnotherapy. I use the rapid transformational therapy method. And in after the session, I give it personalized audio to help the clients. Also, I do coaching, Mars Venus, life relationship coaching. I do astrology, tarot reading, chakra healing, and life force compassion healing sessions as well. So I've got some packages, so it depends and the prices vary. So I do coaching, hypnotherapy, and compassion session together, and we follow that with some coaching, because the hypnotherapy and the compassion session are to let go. It's about letting go of the trauma of the past, but then I bring the coaching to help the clients to look forward, because you can't stay looking backward. You have to keep moving forward. Life is about moving forward. So, and then depending, some clients want to have a bit of tarot reading, astrology to get to know themselves more. Then we have other sessions. So we have packages. We have short packages of a month, which we call a 30-day discovery package. And then we have a 60-day package. And then we have the coaching, which is a 3-month package. And I also have a podcast, which is called Amazing You by Dr. Rani Thanacoody. And it is a YouTube channel. It has a YouTube channel with the same name. And the podcast is on Podbean and Buzzsprout. So people can follow me there. Also, I've got 2 websites. One is Dr. Dr. Rani, Rani, Thanacoody, THANACOODY.com. And I've got a second website, which is called Mars Venus Coach Rani.com. And on the Mars Venus Coach Rani, you will find the e-copy of the book that I wrote with Dr. John Gray and 30 other coaches. So you can get the e-copy there. You can see also when I do free workshops. So I put it there as well. There is a tab. And on my other website, the Dr. Rani, you will see my YouTube videos are coming as well. So I'm going to put more things in the future. So keep an eye on the websites and please follow and share and subscribe to the YouTube, everybody. And if you want a session, you can book on either website. You can book for a free 30 minutes discovery call to know about the hypnotherapy, or if you want to know more about the coaching, and I would give you a free 30 minutes evaluation for the coaching. So that's my gift to your community, Nikki.
Thank you so much. Definitely take Dr. Rani on her offer. She's absolutely amazing in what she does, and really being able to break barriers after, going through everything and anything that we go through in life. We have to start taking action. First of all, taking accountability that
Yes.
though certain things that happen to us were not our fault, but we get to decide how we react to them. And without having the tools or understanding, instead of having the anger, the hate, or even possibly revenge, we need to be able to heal those things so that we can move forward for our own peace. So thank you so much for that. I'm going to give you another few minutes, and you can close off the show with just letting us know what's on your heart right now. What do you want to share with our audience to empower them to just, even if not with us, to move forward and really find a community that can help them grow, and any words of wisdom?
Yes, what I would like to tell your community, Nikki, is I think a very important thing is to be grateful. Start to learn to be grateful for everything. I was sharing that on another podcast yesterday, and we talk about the power of gratitude. And you know, life, there is so many challenges, and our conditioning has not always been helping us the way it should be. And it can be our environment, family environment, our education, or society. There's a lot of negativity. There is a lot of things that we were told we couldn't do as a child. So it's about us now learning to change that, to recondition our mind. And the easiest way, I'm not going to go into the deep tools, but the easy thing when people are facing anxiety, when people are facing stress, is to start to take some deep breath. Breathing is important. It will help you to relax your nervous system, to come back to a state of now. And when you are in that state, listen to your heartbeat and start to say some gratitude exercise. I did that, Nikki. That was the starting point of my healing journey. I remember I was following Dr. Um, Joel Hosteen. He's a very well-known pastor in the States, and he used to start his service on Sunday by saying, "I am," though, because the word that follow "I am" follows you. So keep being saying these affirmations. That's how I started, and be grateful for everything. And Thanksgiving is coming very soon over there in the States. So remember, it's not only for Thanksgiving we have to be grateful. We have to be grateful for every little thing in our life, like Nikki said. It can be the cup of tea, the hot water we have to take a shower, the table we have to do our work, the body that we have, the healthy body that we have, the eyesight that we've got, so little things that we take for granted. And if you do that every day, you take your breath, your deep breath every day, 3 deep breath, breathe in and out, and start saying your gratitude and affirmations. And if you do that for 30 days, your life will change for the better. Your life will be transformed. You will feel more uplifted, more positive, because the only person that can encourage you is yourself, because you are the person who live with yourself 24/7. So start to give yourself the love, start to value yourself, and start to praise yourself, because praise will boost your self-esteem. So that's what I would say to the audience today. Thank you
I
so much,
love
Nikki.
that. Praise will boost your self-esteem. Absolutely. And that's where confidence come in, because confidence and self-esteem are two different
Yes,
paradigms, and we have to know the difference between them, because we can be confident in certain situations, but in
yes,
certain situations we can have a particular self-esteem issue disruption where we're good in this area, but we're not so great in that area. And we have to take our weaknesses and make them as beautiful as they can be. And that's where coaching comes from. That's where getting into community comes from. That's where
yes,
doing the research, reading the books, doing the work, taking the action. It's
yes,
all about taking the steps. Now, you can run towards it, you can walk towards it, or you could crawl towards it. Remember, and someone said this the other day, and I have to say it, it doesn't matter how fast or slow you go. Remember, in the ark, the snails, the turtles all got there. And they may have gotten there late, but they still got there. So continue to work on your journey. Thank you so much, Rainey. It has been an absolute pleasure. I will definitely have all your links and your handles on the show notes. And I'm so happy to have you. Thank you for joining the Bomb Global team here on our podcast. And you'll be upcoming really, really soon, where we'll be doing a week-long celebration of our next 50 guests. So you're right within that 150 episode mark of interviews that we have brought amazing people within the last year, and really helping turn lives around, just changing that vantage point of what we can see from the outside and what we can't see from the inside. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Building a Leadership Mindset podcast. I'm your host, again, Nikki C. And as I always say, have a great day and make it count. Bye,
thank
everyone.
you. Bye bye.
You're welcome.